England's prize fighter is set to bow out. Andrew Flintoff, English cricket's talisman, has announced he'll retire from Test cricket at the end of this summer's Ashes series. Typical of the man, he explained his decision, starting with a joke.
You know, excuse the pun, it's not a knee-jerk reaction. It's something which I've been thinking about for a while. Chatting to people, it's just the timing of it. And I think with this latest thing with my knee, seeing the surgeon Monday, having jabs in it, my body's telling me it's time, to give in.
This country's most iconic cricketer since Ian Botham, the young 20-year-old making his debut for England against South Africa in 1998, was already fighting off such comparisons.
Well, it's quite flattering people comparing to Ian Botham, but he did a lot in cricket. I've done nothing. If I do anything in the game, I'll be doing it as Andy Flintoff, not the next Ian Botham.
Indeed, he was to make the name of Flintoff as resonant as that of Botham. But just as Beefy had needed the Ashes of 1981, the man known as Freddie had 2005. His performances earned him the Man of the Series award as England won back the Ashes for the first time in 18 years. He even had the Aussies wishing for their own Flintoff.
It'd be nice if we could find an Andrew Flintoff at home somewhere. I'm sure we'll be looking as soon as we get back home.
A star on the pitch, he also played a leading role in the celebrations.
Not a bit bad yet. Behind these glasses tells 1,000 stories.
At that moment, Flintoff was the biggest name in English sport, loved by the public for his everyman persona.
He's big, strong, athletic, he likes beer and he likes karaoke. What more could he want?
The success led to numerous awards, book deals, and even the freedom of his hometown Preston. But sadly, that summer of 2005 was to be the highlight of his career. Just over a year later, with Michael Vaughan struggling with a knee injury, Flintoff was given the captaincy as England looked to defend the Ashes in Australia.
Obviously getting a chance to captain England in Australia in what's going to be a massive series is something which excites me, and I'm very proud to have the chance to do.
That pride turned to despair as the Aussies gained revenge for 2005 with a 5-0 whitewash. Injuries prevented him from bowling long spells, and rumours were rife that England's skipper was drinking too much. And it was that love of a good time that came back to haunt him at the World Cup in 2007 with the infamous Fredolo incident. Flintoff was stripped of the vice-captaincy and suspended for a game.
Something which shouldn't have happened. And as I say, I've suffered the consequences. I've missed a game of cricket for England over the weekend. I've missed games in the past through injury, which is one thing. But to have the feeling of being left out for these reasons is something which, I'm obviously upset about.
Since then, it's been the injuries that have dominated Flintoff. The reputation remained, and earlier this year, the Chennai Super Kings paid a record $1.5 million for his services. But once more, the body broke down, and he was sent home for surgery on a troublesome knee. Since April, he's fought hard to make this summer's Ashes, but it appears the pain he felt during the first test in Cardiff has convinced him his time has come.
For my own sanity, I can't keep going through rehabilitation. I think I've done 2 years in the past 4, I've just rehab all the way through. So, it is the time to go. I've got 4 test matches which I'll give my utmost for England to try and contribute into an Ashes win. So that's what I'm focusing on over the next few weeks.
Indeed, English cricket fans will be hoping for a fairy tale ending. Flintoff saying farewell to Test cricket with an Ashes win and scenes to rival those of 2005.